Welcome to the Virginia Department of Education's Understanding the Regulations Governing the Use of Restraint and Seclusion in Public Elementary and Secondary Schools in Virginia. This module is focused on understanding the importance of a safe and supportive school environment. It is directed toward all school personnel. In Module 3, Safe and Supportive School Environment, you will learn what it means to have a safe and supportive school, why having a safe and supportive school environment is good for all students, and how you can integrate these concepts and practices into policy at the division and school levels. Please note that there is a cumulative quiz at the end of this series of modules that will allow you to test your knowledge and earn a certificate. You are also invited to complete a feedback survey after each module. As noted by the U.S. Department of Education, school should be a safe and healthy environment in which America's children can learn, develop, and participate in instructional programs that promote high levels of academic achievement. Virginia has adopted these regulations to help ensure such an environment for Virginia's students. What is a safe and supportive school? According to the World Health Organization, a school's environment can enhance social and emotional well-being and learning when it is warm, friendly, and rewards learning, promotes cooperation rather than competition, facilitates supportive, open communications, views the provision of creative opportunities as important, prevents physical punishment, bullying, harassment, and violence by encouraging the development of procedures and policies that do not support physical punishment and that promotes positive or pro-social interaction on the playground, in class, in school-related activities, and among staff and students. Promotes the rights of students through equal opportunities and democratic procedures. The U.S. Department of Education has outlined 3 categories to be considered when planning for a safe and supportive school: environment, safety, and engagement. A school environment consists of a number of elements: physical environment, instructional environment, physical health, social emotional well-being, people, students, teachers, support staff, administrators, families, and community members. School size, physical design of the school and classrooms, accessible supports for social emotional well-being of students and staff, and a clear discipline policy that is culturally sensitive, understandable, and consistently enforced are a few elements of a school or school division's environment that affects students, staff, and their families. You can find more information on discipline policy with the Virginia Department of Education's Model Guidance for Positive, Preventative Code of Student Conduct Policy and Alternatives to Suspension. School safety encompasses physical environment, social emotional well-being, physical safety, bullying and cyberbullying, substance use, safety risk planning. Safety refers to both physical and emotional well-being of students, families, and school staff when they are at school or school-related activities. At school and school-related events, everyone should feel free from perceived or actual risk. Students, families, and school staff should be aware of what to do in the event of an emergency and aware that emergency plans exist and can be implemented at school and school-related events. School engagement refers to physical environment, instructional environment, relationships, school participation, respect for diversity. Engagement as it relates to a safe and supportive school climate incorporates relationships between students, teachers, families, and schools. Strong connections between schools and the community also drive a safe and supportive school climate. Safe and supportive schools create comfortable environments that allow students, families, and staff to equitably access the resources available to them. The benefits of fostering an environment that helps all students feel safe and supported include positive academic and behavioral outcomes for all students. A safe and supportive school addresses a myriad of needs for students, families, and teachers that includes meeting the physical, psychological, social, emotional, and academic needs of all students. Research shows that a positive school climate increases attendance, graduation rates, academic performance, equitable access to learning, and teacher retention, while also decreasing problem behaviors and exclusionary approaches to discipline. An increasing number of students and their families are facing trauma dealing with challenges associated with social media and increased stress and anxiety. Addressing these challenges through practices to meet the needs of students, families, and staff can address student and staff well-being, teacher retention, family engagement, student engagement, emotional regulation, and overall school safety. As we know from research on multi-tiered systems of supports, a school-wide approach is most effective at positively impacting all students. A trauma-sensitive school is most effectively created and maintained when universal supports and strategies are part of daily school routines and integrated into the MTSS framework. When these supports are in place, fewer students will need a more intensive intervention in order to be successful in school. A school in which all students feel safe, welcomed, and supported, and where addressing trauma's impact on learning on a school-wide basis is at the center of its educational mission, is by definition a safe and supportive environment. School climate can affect attendance, graduation rates, academic performance, relationships, teacher retention. Universal practices that create an equitable, safe, and supportive learning environment for all students are often most important for students and staff who have experienced trauma, but they are good for everyone who interacts with the school environment. When implemented with care, the components of a safe and supportive school environment have the power to impact students, staff, parents, and the community as a whole. You might be wondering how your school can get started creating a safe and supportive school environment. Developing and maintaining the climate of a school or school division is an ongoing process and commitment. The National Center for Safe, Supportive Learning Environments offers a three-phase approach that can be used for multiple initiatives across all levels of implementation. During the initial phase, leaders should assess and analyze the motivation, readiness, capacity, and starting point of the adults involved in the implementation and their capacity for systemic change. In the second phase, leaders of this work should create opportunities for professional and continuing education coupled with targeted training events. These should focus broadly on trauma-sensitive practices, culturally responsive education, and other universal practices that influence behavioral expectations for all students. In the third phase of implementation, leaders should consider the different needs of those involved in systemic change efforts and set up a system in which key stakeholders are heard and their voices are valued as part of the work. In this phase, leaders should be progress monitoring and using assessment, data, and evidence-based practices to inform decision-making as it relates to policies and practices. Finally, strategies for implementing policies and practices to achieve safe and supportive learning environments for all students will vary depending on the need of your school or division. Remember, achieving an atmosphere for your school or division to feel safe and supportive is an ongoing process that will require continuous assessment and evaluation. The next video, Module 4 of the 5-module series, will address conflict resolution and de-escalation practices for students and staff. Thank you for watching. please contact the Office of Dispute Resolution and Administrative Services at 804-225-2013 if you have questions about this material.